Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in again to another very informative video. Today we'll be talking about the House Oversight Committee and their hearing on the FBI Director James Comey on his decision not to indict Hillary Clinton. You may or may not know there was about a 5-hour hearing today on his decision not to indict. After 48 hours previously, he gave his statement that she did break the law and there's so much evidence against her, but he does not recommend an indictment. So we're going to break that down today as quickly as we can in layman's terms so that you can understand. First of all, I'd like to start off by saying thank you everyone who's watched my previous videos. I'm getting a lot of shares, and I've got people commenting and private messaging me telling me thank you for what I'm doing, putting the information out. And I do appreciate the positive feedback. Also, right now, I'm in the process of making a podcast, that's for the microphone here, where you'll be able to listen to these things, where it's not using as much of your bandwidth, watching this live or whatnot. You better watch it on your mobile devices, your iPhone, from iTunes or your Android device. You better listen to it at your leisure. Any of these videos that are very informative while you're driving or whatever. It'll just be audio, it won't be video, and it won't be live. Listen to by podcast, but you still better watch it live. Thanks for sharing, and please continue to share these videos. I'm not doing this for self-gratification or whatever. The reason I'm doing all these videos lately is we are really at a turning point. I just really feel the need for information to come out and for people to be informed. Not everybody has time to watch the news or to know what's going on, or most people don't even understand. So my job, what I'm doing is trying to make people understand in the simplest way what is going on and what to expect. Right now, our country, we're at a turning point in history. This is biblical. And that's the reason I've been so vocal and coming out and doing these videos. The information I'll be discussing today and in future videos, it will be very disturbing because I'm not holding back. I will be talking about all of these, whether it's conspiracy theories, conspiracy facts, a lot of government corruption, all kinds of things that I'll be hitting on. Today we're going to talk about the hearings today in the Oversight Committee. You may or may not have watched it, or you may not know there was even one. Okay, what the hearing was about was 2 days ago. The FBI Director James Comey came out. He gave his statement. I have the transcript. I went over in my previous video, saying that yes, there's evidence that she broke the law, that Hillary Clinton broke the law from the email. I explained the email scandals. You can go watch the video. I talk about Benghazi. I explained everything. But at the end of the transcript, he says, but there's not enough sufficient evidence to indict her based on her intent. First of all, he's not a prosecutor. He is the FBI director. So in a smaller sense, he's the cop or the investigator giving evidence to the DA. It's the same thing, but just on a national level. That's what's going on. He's not a prosecutor. But the prosecutor, which is Loretta Lynch, was met with Bill Clinton a few days before, which is totally unethical because Hillary Clinton's husband, she's in the process of getting indicted, and he meets with her for 30 minutes. It all came out. It's all on record. They were ordered by the FBI. The FBI was ordered by Bill Clinton to order the media to turn off their cameras. They had a 30-minute conversation together. And also Bill Clinton, appointed her as a federal court judge during his tenure as president. All of this is unethical. So anyways, back to what went on today, the hearings of his decision not to recommend indictment. First of all, what you need to know is basically everything was just split. You had two sides of the aisle. You had people that were doing their job, and mostly were Republicans, which I'm not a fan of the Republicans. It's not a Republican Democrat right left kind of video is what I'm doing. There's some, but they were the ones mostly pushing, asking the real questions. Okay. As far as on the left side, they all went on the same rhetoric. The Republicans liked you until this decision, and then they bring up other things. They try to compare it to General Petraeus and the investigation of him, which Comey even says, well, yeah, well, what was different is he lied under oath. Hillary Clinton lied on the oath. And that was all brought up today as well. So there is no difference. She lied under oath. In fact, James Comey says that she wasn't even under oath during the 3.5-hour interview last Saturday. So they asked him, what makes you recommend? He can't indict somebody. That's the Attorney General. But he's the investigator. He can recommend or whatever. So they asked him, well, what do you do to indict somebody to break the law? He says there's 2 criteria. This is from James Comey. The 2 criteria for him to find someone guilty would be, what did they do? What was the crime? And also, what were they thinking? That's the 2 criteria. Now, it repeatedly came up that she broke the law, and they had him in a corner so many times to where he had to admit, yes, this and this happened. Well, why do you not recommend indictment? Well, I don't know what she was thinking. So someone finally brought up the point that if I'm speeding accidentally, is it okay for me, since I didn't mean to speed, I shouldn't get a ticket, right? It's like the previous video said, let me just down a 5th of gin or a case of beer. Let me just go ride, have a good time. If I crash into you and your family and I kill everyone, I shouldn't go to jail because my intent wasn't to kill anybody. I just wanted to have a good time, drink a lot of beer. Well, that's what he's saying here. That's not even his decision about the intent. His job is to gather evidence, which he did, and says that there is enough evidence. But he puts himself in a prosecutor role to say that the intent wasn't there, which we'll talk about in a minute. It's total BS. The intent was there. Today was the most egregious act of slapping the American people, fraudulent claims, and straight up lying. And I've never seen this in my life. This is something you see on TV. This is not George Orwell 1984 or Animal Farm, where it is totally just coming out. Okay, he admitted, yes, the servers were located in her basement. So the server she had was, and I talked a lot about this on the other video, the server she had was illegal. She knows it's illegal. She signed a document, what she needs to do. She's Secretary of State. She should know these things. He says that she shouldn't, she's not very technically sophisticated. Yeah, I bet. So, servers in her basement. She didn't think that was a problem. She thinks that's just standard operating procedure. She lied to the FBI and to the public, or one of the two. One of the questioners says, okay, she gave a statement during the Benghazi trials, which I watched as well, saying that she never sent any classified emails ever on her private server. James Comey says that based on his investigation, there were 113 that were sent. Now, I just want to sidetrack for a second. When you're watching back to the Democrats or to the left, they kept talking about 3 emails, which weren't even the whole emails. It was a little C, meaning classified, on a paragraph of an email. They kept talking about the 3. That was on emails that were deleted by her attorney that they managed to find through the attorney's computers. This is way off base, but they tried making it sound like it was those 3. That's not true. They found 113 emails that were either sent or received to Hillary Clinton by Hillary Clinton that were classified at the time. Not classified later, that were classified at the time. So she tells the American people that during the Benghazi trials that she never sent classified emails. Well, according to the FBI's investigation, he says that she did. So either his statement was false, that she sent classified information over her private server, which is completely unsecure. In his words, he says that her server is less secure than Gmail. Nothing wrong with Gmail, but when you're dealing with super sensitive classified American secrets that can harm the lives of so many people in the field, CIA assets, and just us in general, This is a big deal. So, excuse me, dealing with a little sinus issue. So, she either lied to the American people, said, I never sent it, or he is completely wrong that, yes, you did send emails. So, they ask him, well, did you interview her on Saturday during that 3.5-hour interview? Did you interview her? He says, no. I had so many of my agents that did it. Okay, well, did you speak to your agents about what happened? He says no. He never spoke with the FBI agents that interviewed Hillary Clinton. And not only that, she was not under oath. She was not under oath when she made the statements. So what he's saying is basically Hillary Clinton says to the FBI agents, I did send 113 emails that were classified knowing that I did. Because that's what he says she said. Although he doesn't know because he didn't talk to the agents that interviewed her about what he said. And that was the final decision of the year-long investigation. So the 3.5-hour interview was not done by him. So it shouldn't have made a difference either way. So if he has an under oath, the last under oath statement that Hillary Clinton said about it was during the Benghazi hearings, when she was under oath saying she never sent it. Which in his words, they questioned him. They said, well, Mr. Director, what is that called? He said, that is perjury. Lying under oath is perjury. It's also very much against the law to lie to the FBI even though you're not under oath. That's his words as well. This what he asks. They go on to ask him, okay, you given all this evidence that she did this and did that, she broke so many laws, and knowingly she broke so many laws, and even although he says her intent, whatever, that's BS. Intent or not, you break the law, and as Secretary of State, you know what's classified and what's not. Total lie in the American people's face. Total BS. Okay? But they even ask him, they ask the FBI director, if this exact same situation would happen to one of your agents, someone that worked for the FBI, in his quotes, very careless, extremely careless of handling classified information. You're saying that it's okay that they could still be employed. We can still have these people working for the Federal Bureau of Investigations to keep mishandling classified information. That it's not a big deal. He says no. He said they'll be subject to, they'll be reprimanded and probably fired. So they ask him, what do you think about Hillary Clinton? What should happen to her? He said, I can't comment on that. Obviously, the man was threatened. If I'll do videos later on the Clintons, but if you know anything about them, they have a long history of getting what they want and murders of mysteriously people just dying of natural causes, plane crashes, car wrecks, that kind of thing. He was obviously threatened. There's no way he can lie on national TV, straight out lie, and even say, yes, someone that worked for us, this would happen. Well, nothing should happen for her? No, there's not enough evidence. But he said there's enough evidence. He said there's enough evidence for anyone else, but not for her. Very big deal. And again, they compare her to the General Petraeus, and because he knew he lied. Well, obviously, she knew she lied. If she told us one thing about Benghazi and told the FBI another thing, which he doesn't know what she told her anyway. So, not only that, there's so many crimes that were committed. Let's talk about the obstruction of justice, okay? If you go look at Title 18, you got 1924, you got 2071, that talk about all of these, what should happen. I mean, you cannot destroy information. It's all there. You can't do anything. They didn't just press delete. Clinton sent her lawyers in to scrub, what they call scrub, the hard drives and everything to rid of all the evidence. So the whole thing about that is that's probably could be the biggest crime, the obstruction of justice. They also asked, they said, were there any unclear people that had access to this information? Her lawyers. Unclear means not having security clearance. So her lawyers went through 30,000 at least. There's even the number 60,000 that was brought up. So they went through all this information. They don't have security clearance. They're going through all these emails, and what she told them supposedly was, okay, just delete the personal information, the personal emails that had nothing to do with, you know, the Benghazi and this, you know, Secretary of State stuff, and just leave the others. Okay, so you really want us to believe that they went through and deleted those and left these? Either way, it's illegal because you can't delete any of it. Number two, it's illegal to have an uncleared person going through. She had all of her lawyers doing it. Crime, 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 crime. They even asked, well, where's the investigation into the lawyers? James Comey didn't know what to say. He's against the wall. All he kept saying is, well, I can't answer that, or I need recommendation from the Oversight Committe or from Congress to investigate this. And they asked about, well, the guy that set it up. I have his name in here somewhere. Where was his investigation? Well, they basically got information from him, and he's scot-free. Well, what kind of information did they get? Evidently, it's not enough information because she's not even indicted. So he said it. He set up the server in the basement, and knowingly, as against the law, he gets free based on the deals they made, and she's free. And also, you'd have basically one from this side and then one from that side. And the Democrats had the audacity to say that this was a waste of time, that they're wasting the money, the American, taxpayers' money. Obama is flying Hillary Clinton around on Air Force One, costing hundreds of thousands of dollars. It costs $100,000 just to start it up. To do anything, it's $100,000 from taxpayers' money for campaigning. That's unconstitutional. That is not a taxpayer expense. You can't fly around for your personal use. For your political use, you can. Which, I guess it doesn't matter to them. Michelle Obama takes vacations year-round, bringing her whole family, flying all over the world, multiple times, constantly. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up right here. My whole point about this is just to inform everyone of what's going on. And the whole point about all of this is the lies, the open lies. This has been going on for eons, okay? But these used to be all backdoor deals, right? They're doing it publicly in national TV. Bill Clinton meeting Loretta Lynch at an airport, okay? Just moments, before the potential indictment, all right? James Comey flat out lying on national TV, saying, here's the evidence. Here's the evidence. Even tells us the crimes committed, but questions her intent. So if I go shoot you in the face, I can just say, well, I didn't intend to. I just did, whatever. That is total BS. And this needs to be shared. You need to share. Share, 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 share. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, one more thing. Sidney Blumenthal, which is one of Hillary Clinton's advisors, he was hacked. It was already confirmed that he'd been hacked. The FBI, that's another thing. The FBI has confirmed that, not confirmed, but conclusive evidence that almost certainly she was hacked. So, but there's no intent and there's no anything. He's playing the prosecutor role, which is total garbage. All right. So I just took a few notes here. I'm just skimming through. It's about done. And all right, everyone. The assistant. That's one more big point I want to bring up. He actually said, this is a huge point. He says that the whole setting up the server that was in the basement, which was set up by her husband, Bill Clinton, it was set up years ago. So she used that server. Comey says that she didn't think that she did anything wrong. Okay? 2 days ago, her assistant, Pagliano, said under oath that no, the reason we set up the server was for that exact reason, to keep information, to not have anybody have access to the information, public or private. Her assistant said that under oath. But Hillary Clinton wasn't under oath by the FBI, and Comey is going to say that she had no idea. Total BS. From the wiping clean of the emails by her attorneys, so she had no idea. Okay? Now, understand this. Hillary Clinton is a lawyer. Okay? Lawyer, hence in the name. Knows the law. Not only that, she served 8 years as secretary. As first lady. 4 years. A few years as senator. So secretary of state. And she doesn't know what's classified and what's not classified. What's legal, what's not legal. They even said during the hearing that she had to sign a form. You got to sign a form with instructions. They got a protocol of what's considered classified and what's not. But Director Comey says he believes she didn't know better. Well, how can that be? How can she be that incompetent and have been elected and been through, all of it, how she qualified for president? Which, according to Title 18, she broke several of them. Section 2071, 1924, all of them say it disqualifies you from running for public office, from anything. Not only that, it recommends jail time. So not only should she not be eligible for presidency, she should be in prison, based on the law. So that's just something I wanted to clarify today. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in. And also, one last thing, to push the point of the world we're living in, and some of the videos that I'm going to be posting, and I'm going to be writing some news articles and everything on my website, TrueMediaRivals.com, is whether you love Trump or hate Trump, Trump is still not the Republican nominee. You got to understand, when you're dealing with the Clinton machine, so much evil and corruption that goes into it, it is still possible for them to screw Trump out of getting the Republican nominee. You hear people saying, oh, I wish we had more options and this and that. They had 17 options. He beat 16 other people. Okay? Is he different from a lot of Republicans? Yeah. Is he more vocal? Yeah. My opinion, we need somebody who's not scared of the Chinese, who's not scared of whatever. I'm not saying he's the best thing since sliced bread, but he's definitely more so what we need than Hillary Clinton. In a nutshell, it's like this. You got the delegates. And I wrote an article about delegates, what delegates are, and super delegates. It's on my website, TrueMediaRivals.com. They're about 20 people away from having a vote and changing the rules on the Republican National Convention that's coming up in Ohio on, I think it's on the 8th, July the 8th. They can change the rules to where you have the pledged delegates, which are the super delegates and whatnot, where the pledged delegates don't have to vote for Donald Trump, So they can change the rules, which is based off state rules, and you'd have to read the article. I'm not going to get that in depth with it. So basically, when the convention comes, they can change the rule where the delegates that were for him can vote for someone else. Well, who would they pick? Well, that's kind of a problem that they have. But the bottom line is they can pick anybody. They can put in Paul Ryan, or they can put in Mitt Romney again, or other failed candidates. That's the extent of the corrupt, and that's in the Republican Party. I'm not just going to bash Democrats, Republicans, or whatever. I'll bash it all. I'll bash Bush just as much. I'll bash Bobby Jindal. I'll bash Clinton, Obama, whatever. The truth is the truth, and it needs to be told. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned. I appreciate everybody sharing. If you agree with any of this, please continue to share it, get the information out. Look forward for my podcast coming soon. I'll have information on how to get a hold of that. Any questions or concerns, or if I'm missing a topic, if I'm missing something, just please send me a message or whatever. Thanks so much for tuning in.